Alright folks, welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Slice. Recording this actually on a Saturday night, and it's Halloween. So me and my younger brother decided couldn't be arsed doing really anything. Well, you can't do anything really, although we'll be drinking a little bit later. That's a given. And so we thought we'd order some pizza. Now, when we usually get takeaway pizza, because I'm just going to put it out there, Skem or Skelmersdale, the choices for takeaway food in sort of like local vicinity, very grim. Pizzas are just always a no-go. Unless you've been drinking and there's a pizzeria on the way home. So they do have the purpose, but for the most part, just takeaway food in Skem's really dire. But there are places that are popping up now. There's one that's pretty much just up the road called Gracious Grub, which has a sort of like vegan sort of vibe about it. The Whisk and Pickle, which is like a pop-up pizzeria place, will sometimes have a residence at my local pub, the Hare and Hounds. Won't be happening now, obviously, because we're just about to go into a month-long lockdown. There's also a little Jamaican, it's called the Jerk Shack, which don't think is operating and hasn't been. I think you have to like order through Facebook. To cut a long story short, takeaway food is wank in Skem, and it's really sad. It's really annoying. So the only real options you have are getting like McDonald's, KFC, those sorts of places through like Uber Eats. Pizza Hut is usually the go-to sort of takeaway pizza that we order when we want to order pizza. But we thought we'd try Domino's. Now, I'm not usually the biggest fan of Domino's. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that Pizza Hut is like the highest of quality, but Domino's to me, it's just, I don't know, just, I'm not a big fan. But I thought, do you know what? We'll give it a try. So we did that sort of like meal deal where you get 2 large pizzas, 2 small sides for like 23 quid. It's a local Domino's, so it came in about 20 to 25 minutes. It's piping hot. I got a garlic bread as well, but I'm not going to be reviewing that today. So this is the pizza that I got, which is called the Meatfielder. So there you go, you get a nice little look there. Doesn't look too bad, does it? I opted for this sort of Italian style crust because I do find places like this that, I know it's going to sound so backwards, but I don't like pizza dough when it's too bready, even though pizza dough is essentially a form of bread. Do you know what I mean? So I like when it's a little bit less. I didn't want to go for the thin and crispy because I don't think the toppings on this pizza, it just wouldn't be a sort of stable slice, essentially. Not that I'm expecting this to be. But yeah, so I went for the Meatfielder, which basically comes with bacon, ham, meatballs, pepperoni and chorizo. So pretty standard for what I like on a pizza. Not too badly presented. Proper England pizza. Although it does look a little bit lopsided, but I'm not gonna complain too much. Nice looking crust. Obviously quite a bit of oil from, yeah, definitely a very greasy, look at that, from the chorizo. But it doesn't look too bad. Base is soft. I wasn't expecting it crispy. It's going to hang, so I won't be able to do the classic. Oh, mind you, I could potentially get away with doing it like this. But let's have a slice with all of the toppings on. God, my stomach is going to be in absolute knots tomorrow. I can tell already from the fat and the oil. Anyway, let's give it a taste. So sorry you had to see that. It's a little bit stodgy. Luckily, although it is packed full of grease, chorizo gives off a nice flavour in terms of its grease. Do you know what? Not too bad at all. Really nice and flavoursome. So I'd imagine this might be the pepperoni and the small pieces will be the chorizo. Let's have a taste. Pepperoni's got a nice texture to it. Not the most flavoursome, but not going to complain. Here's a piece of the chorizo. I love chorizo. That's a really nice chorizo that they've got on this pizza. Let's try a little bit of the ham. Pretty much what you expect from a chain like this. A little bit too thickly sliced. Has that sort of slight cheap processed vibe about it. Not that I was expecting it to be the finest locally sourced ingredients or imported ingredients. But not too bad. Let's try a bit of this bacon. Not a bad consistency. Had a bit of a fattier bit there. And then we'll have meatball. Doesn't look too bad. It's got almost like a tinned meatball sort of character to it. What's up?
Did you get your garlic bread?
What?
Did you get your garlic bread?
Yeah, it's downstairs.
Oh.
But yeah, the quality of the meat's pretty good. Chorizo as the star of the show on this one. So it all works. It's got a lovely flavour to it. That sort of like slight cayenne-esque paprika flavour coming from that chorizo just lifts the pizza. Can't really taste too much of the sauce. Cheese is a little bit bland as well, got a little bit of an aftertaste, but far from offensive. And yeah, all in all, do you know what? It's not bad. It's got a nice amount of flavour to it. But fuck me sideways. Is that a drenched pizza box? But it doesn't feel like fatty and oily, and you know what I mean? Dough's not too bad. Nice fluffy texture to it, a little bit chewy. Not too dense and overly doughy or bready. Yeah, I mean, just look at that. It's not a neat pizza to eat. Do you know what? I'm actually very pleasantly surprised by that. I think the key to pizzas like this is don't bother with the stuffed crust. Don't bother with the deep pan. Don't bother with like the chunky pizza bases. Get something that's a little bit thinner, not as dense, not as chewy, not as like clawing as you're eating it. And yeah, not too bad. Very nice surprise indeed. And I can't complain with the service. Price wasn't too bad, all things considered. 23 quid for 2 pizzas and 2 sides. Not bad at all, really. And yeah, I like that. That's really nice. I'm going to enjoy this more tomorrow morning, I think. I think when all that like fat's been absorbed and it gets a little bit more like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, not too bad. Not the greatest pizza, but definitely think that chorizo makes this. It really, really does. So yeah, got nothing really to complain about. I would definitely pick this up again. And yeah, Domino's have done not a bad job there. Can't remember what pizza I had last time that I just did not like. And again, I think it goes back to the dough, or the thickness of the dough that I requested. I don't think garlic and herb dip's going to do much for this. Save that for put that in the fridge. But yeah, not too bad at all. So, are you a fan of Domino's pizza? Have you had this one? What recommendations if I went to Domino's again? What pizza would you like me to try? Be nice to go out of my comfort zone with some of these sort of pizza reviews. And obviously diversify. I probably will even like pick up some local pizzas from some of the cult sort of classics within the local vicinity of Skelmersdale. But yeah, I'd much rather eat this than go to one of the local pizza places. Quite frankly, because a lot of them they turn me stomach, do you know what I mean? But this one, I know for a fact that oil is probably going to repeat on me, and I'm going to be shitting through the eye of a needle tomorrow. Not that you needed to know that in the pizza review. But in terms of a rating, I can't remember if I've actually done ratings on these pizzas, but I'd give it a very solid 7 out of 10. Not bad at all. Good showing, Domino's. And yeah, sort of slightly restored my faith in Domino's pizza. Anyway, cheers for watching, folks. Any recommendations for pizza in general, places to go, places to order online, even like online pizza kits that, you know, distribute around the UK? Because we can diversify the channel like that, or this video series, because we're still primarily a beer review channel. This is perfect. I'm going to have a couple of beers with this as well, so not bad for a pre-second lockdown Saturday quiet Halloween evening, I suppose. Anyway, cheers for watching, folks, and you all take